right, welcome back to another episode of Have Disc Will Travel. I am JP representing MA5 Disc Golf. Just going out, taking a look at some courses in my area and beyond, and giving you guys a little insight into them. Today we're going to be looking at Sherando Park out in Stephens City, Virginia. Now this is one of those rare opportunities in life where you get a second chance to make a good first impression. So full disclosure, I did go out here before and play around, but it was my first ever time trying to record myself, and it went horribly. I got some really bad footage. Maybe I'll loop some in at the end here for you guys to take a look at, but in any event, I'm checking out Sherando because I have a tournament coming up out there, and I've only gone out there the one other time, and I played from the shorts. So the tournament is 2 rounds, 1 round from the short tees, 1 round from the long tees. So today I'm gonna go out there, throw some from the long tees, and hopefully give you guys a good look at what this course is all about. All right, I'll see you guys out on the course. All right, so this is Sherando Park in Stephens City, Virginia. It's got a good mixture of some longer, wide open holes and then also some shorter wooded holes. So I'm coming up here and I'm going to be playing the Sherando Spartan Long 18 plus Y layout. So it's going to be 19 holes total. This is my very first throw straight out of the car, and this is probably, well, I know, it's definitely the furthest recorded throw I've ever had. And so there was no stretching or anything, so that tells me I just need to work more on my form, because I should be able to, if I can do that then, I should be able to do that on a regular basis. All right, so on this upshot here, honestly, I think it's just an issue of, one, I'm not really good at forehands, and I'm trying to work on that, but that was just a poor disc selection there to get the job done. I'm primarily a backhand player, but I was worried about the trees over there on the left-hand side, so I tried forehand, just poor disc selection. So I'm left with this to try to get my par after having a crush of a drive for me. So that's kind of frustrating, and end up just basically having to lay it up. Can't get anything from it. So I'm just going to tap in, concede my bogey here, and just whiff it. I mean, obviously I didn't have any practice coming out of the car, and that's just frustrating. No way about it. So my great drive led to a double bogey here. Okay, so we're moving on to hole number 2. It's 387 feet. It's pretty wide open. There's the tree line all down the left-hand side, so for a right-handed player, you could probably just do a straight hyzer, but I'm going to try to do a little turnover throw here and just get it down as far as I possibly can. Now I'm just pitching up for my 3. There is a little bit of a sloping hillside there behind the basket, so I was trying to go gentle so it wouldn't roll down. And I'm not going to be showing all the tap-ins, but this was far enough out that, especially after missing the last putt, that I felt the need to go ahead and show it. So, all right, we're on hole 3, 248. The basket is a little bit off to the left there, so I'm just doing a slight turnover with the mid-range. Looking to pick up my first birdie. And this thing just gets up and rolls on me. And it rolls, there's a pretty steep hillside there on the right-hand side. It rolls down probably about 40 feet away from the basket. And I end up having to pitch up and end up getting the bogey, getting a birdogey. I always hate those. And showing a little frustration there. All right, hole 4. It's 237 feet, slight dogleg right. So the disc rolled down the hill. I was about, 25, 30 feet out. Slightly downhill and ended up going past the basket. Have this comebacker now for my par. And just threw it way too low. So, gonna end up getting another bogey. So not the best start to my round. Especially on some easier holes here. All right, so hole 5, 226 feet. Now this one is kind of a blind from the tee. The basket's up there and off to the right, and I hit the hillside there, jumped up, and rolled down the hill yet again. And you can't really see it from this angle, but I have stuff in my way, so I'm going to actually have to do a slight Anheuser putt to get around it. And I'm able to convert, and I'm super happy about that. Get my first birdie here. Now you're going to try that one twice. All right. So hole 6, it's only 250 feet, but it is a blind tee shot. It's a hard hook to the right, and I was able to just park it. So 2 birdies in a row. Now I'm starting to feel good. All right, so we have yet another hole where you're gonna have to throw it hard off to the right and try to get it in between this gap of trees. I got a pretty decent shot. There was a headwind that I was throwing into, and my disc kind of stood up a little bit, went straighter than I wanted it to, but ended up hitting a tree. Not a bad position, but then this upshot just left way more than I wanted to get my par. So here I am putting for par. And there's a big headwind right now. And my discs are just sailing on me. All right, so try and make up for it. Just get my bogey here, and that gets up and rolls away on me. So I walk over, and now I'm really starting to feel the pressure. And I actually contemplated just laying up, but then at the last minute I said, no, go for it. And I hit off the top and, went out from like maybe another 10 feet, 12 feet, something like that. Maybe 15. But with the wind now, I was really feeling pressured. And luckily I was able to pick it up and stop the bleeding, but that was pretty brutal there. All right, hole 8, 580 feet, and it's just dead straight. You have so much open space, but now I have this right to left wind, and it just grabs my disc. I put it on slight anhyzer. It grabs it and just flings it all the way off there to the left. And I did some pretty bad videoing here. So I'm down basically where my drive from hole 6 landed at, throwing it back up, and I go too far over to the left. I ended up in the woods. I recorded something, but you can't even see where I was throwing from. So, but I pitched up from the woods, ended up here, tap in for another bogey. So hole 9, it's only 294 feet, but this is a pretty tight gap, especially for me, who's trying to do a turnover here, and I end up hitting the trees and just dropping straight down. But it gives me a pretty open look. I just need to pitch up, have a good pitch up here, and I'll be able to pick up my par. But I leave it way short. End up with this uphill putt for par. And my putting woes continue. So I think I'm just trying to put too much spin on the disc maybe, and my arms opening up on me. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing there, but in any event, end up with another bogey. Hole 10 is 467 feet. It's another hole that's just pretty wide open here. This time I get a much better pitch up within the comfort range of inside of 15 feet probably, and finally get another par, get off that bogey train. Hole 11's 294 feet, and it has a little bit of a low ceiling. It's a pretty straight shot, low ceiling, kind of a tighter fairway as well. But I get it down a decent ways, and then I just have that one tree in my way, so I'm able to just pitch up over there and get it right in there for a par. I went ahead and just trying the forehand upshot as well, just to get some practice in there. And both ended up being essentially parked. Now hole 12, 338 feet, but it is straight tunnel shot, essentially, just straight down the... And again, just parking up in the upshot. So just keeping it on the fairway is all you got to do on those last couple holes. Hole 13, 282 feet. Another one just straight away. Just a easy throw, and somehow I end up throwing it a little bit too high, catching into the tree. This is what I'm left with. I don't think that this is coming off a U-disc, the 282, and I don't think that's right. That is the shortest 282 feet I've ever seen. But missed the putt for the birdie, but I was able to make it for par on the coming back. So hole 14, 466 feet. Now, you can see the short tee box ahead of me. I'm just trying to get slightly to the left of that. I was really happy with that throw, but I'm left with this tree right in my way, and I try to go backhand and do kind of like a turnover shot, and I just drill the tree. So looking back on it now, I really should have, even with my forehand being a work in progress, really should have gone forehand there. And I'm having a pitch out from the woods there. Wasn't much left I could do. Now I have to pitch up from here. I end up parking it, but at this point I'm already getting yet another bogey. All right, hole 15. This one has a tree that's fallen over top of the fairway for the long tee, and it looks a little dangerous to me, but it's a very low ceiling trying to get through there, and I was able to get through on my second shot, really have a decent look for a par, but once again, putting woes come up and bite me in the butt, and I end up having to pick up the bogey again. Hole 16, 362 feet. This one's another kind of just straight ahead type of shot. There's woods to the left that with an OB property line, and I know that because the first time I came out, I had a huge headwind, and I ended up turning over a disc and going over there. So this time I'm able to keep it in the fairway, do an easy upshot, and pick up the par here. Now, hole 17, you're really aiming for the gap in these trees. I end up slipping on this tee box here. It's the tee boxes for the long tees are, for the most part, in some pretty rough shape. I much prefer the tee boxes on the short tees. Most of the tee boxes on the long tees are just kind of a hole in the ground with some sand in there. But this one is just old and worn. It's like a concrete tee pad. So didn't quite get the throw I was looking for, but able to pitch up easily, get in there for the par. All right, hole 18, 358 feet. This one, you just have to make it out through this gap, and then it's a wide open hole. So I'm just trying to get anything out there and just try to get it far. And I'm using a Grace, and kind of turned it over again and kind of lost it out there, but ended up a decent distance out of the hole, just not in the direction I wanted to go. Have a fairly simple upshot here. Which I'm able to do, hit the pin, park it, get my par. All right, so this is the Y hole, 19th hole. It's 524 feet. It's a wide open hole as well. You just got to rip it as far as you possibly can, and I tried a little too hard and just turfed it. But my second throw here, I'm able to get a really good bit of distance and almost park the hole. It looked like it was parked from where I was at, but when I walk up on it, I see that I have a little bit left to do. Maybe about 18 feet, 20 feet maybe. I don't know. But I was able to secure it. And so overall, I like the course. I would much rather prefer playing from the short tees than the long tees, just because of the tee boxes themselves and some of the lines. But overall, I actually play better from the long tees than I did from the short tees. 9 under, not great, but if I could just pick up my putting mistakes, as you saw, there's a lot of wide open holes, and I should have been able to score a little bit better. So hopefully this weekend I'll be able to do much better once the tournament comes. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.